So lovely good evening and welcome to Camnet TV Main News. To present, my name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Top stories in the news tonight. Youth for Zambians account for the most registered voters ahead of the 2021 elections. Kazungula Bridge commissioned. Kambwili mocks the UP. And government says economy is slowly recovering. And in sports news, Copper Queens face Malawi in AFCON qualifiers.
2021 has been described as a highly politically charged year. This is because every 5 years the country goes to the polls, and that 5 years elapses with only a few months remaining down to the ballot. The battlefield to appear on the ballot is becoming fertile. A lot of people are expressing interest of appearing on the ballot.
In all this, our interest is to put the duty bearers, the leaders, and those aspiring to task by asking the relevant questions.
If you're an aspiring candidate, be it councillor, mayor, or member of parliament, get in touch with us to get yourself on the verdict.
We go beyond speculation in dealing with policy and governance issues. The right questions are asked to help you make a verdict. For more details, you can call us on 0962 965883, 0979753010, or email us info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply. Join us on Camnet TV
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 17:45 hours
on a new program dubbed The Verdicts.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Another news in detail. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has announced the final certified register in which a total number of 7,023,499 Zambians are expected to participate in this year's elections. Addressing the media Monday, Chief Electoral Officer Patrick Nshindano says out of this number, the majority of voters are youths between the age group of 24 to 34, with the age group above 50 being the lowest. Meanwhile, Mr. Nshindano has also revealed that 19 presidential candidates have paid their nomination fees so far. Details in the following report.
A certified voter register of 7,023,499 has been availed to the public by the electoral body. Of these figures, 53.4% are women, while 46.6% are men, with the majority total being the youths. The Chief Electoral Officer, Patrick Nshindano, says most of them are first-time voters. The certified register means no addition or subtraction will be made to the register.
Announced that the certified 2021 register of voters stands at 7,023,499. This now is the certified number. We do not expect this number to change. Let me emphasize that this is a certified register now. I have signed off the register. We did certify it yesterday as per the schedule, and this number is the number of registered voters that will participate in the 2021 general elections. Let me also be quick to mention that this register will be made public after this exercise. As a commission, we've already commenced the printing of the registers. And all those that would want copies of the registers, the register will be available at only 50 kwacha per polling station. At this point in time, before I talk to the dimensions, allow me to show you a copy of the certified register as per polling station. So this is a certified copy. This is just a polling station. So we have over 12,000 polling stations as a country, and the register has been duly signed off by the Chief Electoral Officer, who is myself, as a certified register. So from this date on, unfortunately, those that did not verify, those that did not take into account the opportunity that was accorded to them for the past 90 days. Unfortunately, the Commission cannot hear those appeals as it stands.
The ECZ chief has also revealed that a total of 19 presidential candidates have secured their place on the ballot in the August 12th elections.
As it stands, we could have more that would have paid and have not brought the deposit slips. But as it stands now, a total of 19 political parties have paid up, and the following is the draft schedule for pre-processing of their supporters at provincial centers across the country. And this will also give you an idea of those that have paid up, the 19. So, the pre-processing of supporters commences this Wednesday, 12th May 2021. It was initially scheduled for today, but this was postponed to Wednesday, and this was communicated to political parties at the Political Party Liaison Committee that was held on Friday last week.
Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Chief Justice Irene Mambilima says judges and magistrates have an enormous task ahead of them during this election period. Speaking during a discussion on electoral justice and preparation for the 2021 general election under the theme Enhancing the Administration of Electoral Justice, Lady Justice Irene Mambilima says this is a period when electoral petitions will swarm Zambian courts. Justice Mambilima states that judges have a duty to protect political rights of citizens, adding that they also have a duty to ensure that election disputes are resolved in the quickest possible time. The Chief Justice tells judges to avoid engaging in activities that may portray a perception that the system is flawed. Justice Mambilima has, however, stressed that the enhancement of the administration of electoral justice is cardinal. Hence, the system can only be respected if it acts efficiently, displaying independence and impartiality to promote justice, transparency, accessibility, inclusiveness, and equality.
I wish to reiterate that the enhancement of the administration of electoral justice is cardinal. The system will only be respected if it is seen to act efficiently, displaying independence and impartiality to promote justice, transparency, accessibility, inclusiveness, and equality. Any activities that may exhibit perceptions that the system is flawed must be avoided. Negative perceptions of the electoral system may have the undesirable effect of jeopardizing its credibility and cause the electorate to question their participation in the electoral process or even reject its final results.
We noticed that among the obvious challenges posed were timeframes, especially for the presidential petition. We, however, wish to place on record our indebtedness for the numerous judgments that court passed that have clarified a number of gray areas in the electoral process. As a commission, we engaged a consultant to document statistics regarding the number and outcome of the 2016 election petitions. Furthermore, the consultant was tasked to identify the legal and administrative challenges that the Commission and other stakeholders placed and faced when handling the election petitions. My Lady Chief Justice, honorable members, although the consultant's report has regrettably delayed to be finalized, we are confident that once we share the report with the judiciary, it shall go a long way in resolving some of the challenges.
Patriotic Front PF sympathizer Chishimba Kambwili has described the KBF, Mutati and UPND alliance as an alliance for political amateurs. Dr. Kambwili states that the alliance formed is a laughable one, which has been formed out of frustration. He reiterates that the alliance would not go away as it has been formed out of, will not go anywhere, rather as it has been formed out of frustration and bitterness. We have more in this report.
Former National Democratic Congress leader Chimba Kamli has charged that the two named political parties, which recently joined an alliance with the United Party for National Development UPND, are all political amateurs. He states that the union formed by the said political parties is out of bitterness and frustration.
The alliance of the Mutatis, the Fures, it's a laughable alliance. You see, when you form an alliance out of bitterness or out of frustration, it doesn't work. For my brother Fuge, who I respect very much, he was saying, I'll never leave PF, I'm PF, I'm PF. But because of some differences, which still I feel are not insurmountable, he has ended up joining the bandwagon of those who have been bitter for a long time. And in my view, their union is based on nothing but bitterness. Because I was not allowed to be PF president to Fidile Munsenga. Mr. Mutati, because I was fired as Minister of Finance to Fidile Munsenga. It doesn't work out that way. It doesn't work out that way. And I was so shocked. My older brother, Mr. Mutati, says, when Zambians sometimes are taken for a ride, says it's time to repair the economy. The man was Minister of Finance, for heaven's sake. What is he going to do that he didn't do? What is he going to do that he didn't do? He was Minister of Finance, and the major job for the Minister of Finance is to fix the economy. He was Minister of Finance for PF. So if he's saying the economy is in problems, then he's part of the problem. So what is he going to fix? What is he going to fix? So that alliance, to me, is an alliance of amateurs.
Dr. Kambwili has also urged some presidential candidates to be reasonable and not to deceive themselves that they stand a chance to compete in this year's election.
That some of the presidential candidates are unnecessary. They are insignificant. There are political parties that exist in Lusaka between few people, and you think you can stand for elections and win. Zambia is big. We should not have that ego. President. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. They've got children. Take that 95,000. Go and pay school fees, man. Stop wasting people's time. You cannot even garner votes in a word. You want to stand at national level. That's what I meant. Reassess yourself and look at yourself and say, really, can I win even if it meant to stand as Lusaka mayor? Then you decide whether you should stand as president or not.
Miriam Kemba, reporting for Kamni TV News.
The Lusaka Magistrates Court has set 27th May 2021 as date for ruling on case or no case to answer in a matter in which 11 United Party for National Development UPND cadres stand charged with idle and disorderly conduct. Lusaka Magistrate Albert Mwaba is expected to give a ruling on that day following the closure of the case by the state. The 11 are alleged to have, on the 23rd of December 2020 in Lusaka, jointly and whilst acting together, conducted themselves in a manner likely to cause breach of peace at a public place, namely along Independence Avenue. The cadres who were initially arrested, 20, were split into two groups. The other 9 who were appearing before Magistrate Felix Kauma were acquitted on the 28th of April 2021 from the charge. They were arrested when they went to offer solidarity to UPND President Hakainde Hichilema, who was summoned to appear before the police over his Kalomo farm. The matter has since been adjourned to the 27th of May 2021 for ruling on case or no case to answer. President Edgar Lungu and his Tswana counterpart, President Mokwetsi Masisi, have commissioned the Kazungola Bridge aimed at enhancing regional integration and trade. Speaking when he addressed the delegates, President Lungu pledged to ensure that government channels efforts towards enhancing the lives of the Zambian people through investment in strategic infrastructure to ensure the country is well linked internally and externally to facilitate easy movements of goods and services. Meanwhile, Botswana President Mokwetsi Masisi says Botswana attaches great importance to the friendly bilateral relationship that exists between his country and the Republic of Zambia. And Democratic Republic of Congo President Felix Tshisekedi says the Kazungula Bridge will enhance the continental free trade area that has been established by many African countries. We have more in the following report.
The wait is finally over. The multi-million-dollar Kazungula Bridge, constructed at a cost of approximately $259.3 million United States dollars, has been commissioned and ready to serve the region. The bridge is expected to significantly improve trade infrastructure of the Southern African Development Community (SADC) and the African continent as a whole. And President Edgar Lungu, who joined his sworn counterpart and 4 other heads of state in commissioning the bridge, says the project was made possible largely due to the excellent bilateral relationship and cooperation between the two countries, which was attained in the spirit of working together.
The Kazungula Bridge project was worth the effort. The transit traffic through Kazungula border will greatly improve due to reduced border transit time, as you have already heard, as well as improved trade facilitation measures and border management operations. This is because of the inclusion of the one-stop border post. This will lower the cost of doing business, and this in turn will result in an increase in trade and competitiveness, job creation, tourism, and other positive ripple effects, and lead to the development of our local communities.
Outcomes include reduced border transit time, as I've indicated, it will be very short. Improved procedures on trade facilitation, again that will be improved. Improved border management operations, this has got to time which I have indicated. Increased traffic throughput and a reduced time-based transport and trade cost. And when we say reduce, it means significant reduction from days to hours, from days to minutes.
And the Swan president is elated with the completion of the project.
Indebted to the people of Zambia and their governments. Therefore, this bridge, where it stands, is of historical significance to the liberation of the whole of Southern Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, the signing of the 2012 agreement between our two nations to construct the Kazungula Bridge presented a unique opportunity for us to build this iconic, eye-catching and marvelous piece of engineering. And I'm delighted to note that the two countries have signed all the necessary legal instruments to operationalize Kazungula Bridge. I am happy to note that the Republic of Zimbabwe and ourselves with Zambia have agreed in principle to be a partner in this project, and our officials are working and will work increasingly faster and harder to complete the remaining works for Zimbabwe, and hopefully we will enroll Namibia in on.
And the guest of honor, President Felix Tshisekedi, is happy to see what he terms a fruitful bilateral relationship.
On behalf of the African Union, I would like to congratulate the promoters, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia and of the Republic of Botswana, and asking them to invite us so that they inspire us of their good achievement to accomplish the dream of the founder fathers of the African unity. I thank you.
The Kazungula Bridge will provide vital transport infrastructure on that corridor, as it will facilitate easy access to intra-regional trade and international markets through connectivity with major seaports. Prudence Chota, reporting for Kamle TV News.
Meanwhile, President of the opposition United Party for National Development, UPND, Hakainde Hichilema, has noted with concern the exorbitant and unrealistic toll fees placed on the use of the new Kazungula Bridge. In a media statement issued by UPND presidential spokesperson Anthony Walia, Mr. Ichilema says given the scale of the economic challenges the citizens of Zambia continue to face, it is an act of both economic exploitation and sabotage. He says it is worth noting that with the kwacha continuously on an unpredictable downward spiral against the United States dollar, Zambian businessmen and women will have real challenges coping with the toll fees. The UPND leader has since urged government through the Zambia Revenue Authority to quickly review the toll amounts and realign them to support the already struggling businesses of Zambian citizens. According to fees shared by the ZRA, motorbikes will pay a fee of 150 kwacha for accessing the bridge, while passenger cars will pay a fee of 350 kwacha. A 16-seater bus will pay a fee of 450 kwacha, while 4x4 vans will be subjected to a fee of 450 kwacha. A 65-seater bus will pay a fee of 1,450 kwacha, while 76-seater bus will pay a fee of 1,700 kwacha, and a horse with 2 interlink trailer will pay a fee of 2,250 kwacha, among other fees. Bus and Taxi Drivers Association of Zambia National Secretary Sidney Mbewe is disappointed over the failure of the Ministry of Local Government to effectively implement the Markets and Bus Stations Act. The government has not yet finalized the setting up of market boards despite several assurances. Mr. Mbewe notes that the implementation of the Act is key in bringing sanity in the markets and bus stations. Speaking to Kamne TV News, Mr. Mbewe says the Act is crucial in curtailing political interference in the running of markets and bus stations in the country.
The implementation of the bus station and market tax has been a thorny issue since the MMD, and I think it's the manner in which it is expected to be handled that involves the people that are going to manage these boards. I think they also comes in a keen interest by the political parties to ensure that their members are sitting on those boards. As you are aware, markets and bus stations are high transaction areas of money on a daily basis. So the coming on board of bus station and market acts has been a very difficult policy to implement in the bus station. So the reason why it has stayed on ice for quite a long time, a lot of efforts have been put to ensure that the document and the policy itself is put in place. But it's the implementation that has become thorny to ensure that the bus station and market acts comes into force. The bus station and market acts is a very big, nice tool to ensure that there's proper management, efficient distribution of development within the markets and bus stations. And the lacking of it has led to a lot of chaos, where we have seen a lot of non-sector actors taking advantage of that gap that has been left hanging for a long time to collect money from maybe bus drivers, marketeers, and this has gone on for quite a long time. So I think the implementation of the Markets and Bus Station Act would help to resolve some of those challenges that create a hardship on people that are trading in markets and also doing their business in bus stations.
The Zambia National Farmers Union, ZNFU, has appealed to government to allow the export of 1.5 million metric tons of surplus maize recorded in the 2020 to 2021 farming season. ZNFU President Jervis Zimba says the statement by Minister of Agriculture Michael Katambo that exports of grain will be done through the Millers and World Food Programme sends a wrong signal about the country's readiness to export its grain. Mr. Zimba argues that Zambia should be alive to the fact that the region has had a good crop overall and that the country recorded a bumper harvest of 3.4 million tons of maize with a huge surplus of 1.5 million tons. Mr. Zimba further says government should consider inviting the Democratic Republic of Congo to come and source their 600,000 metric tons of maize and meal officially, as agreed under the MOU signed between Zambia and the DRC. And Mr. Zimba says the government should revoke the statutory instrument SI that deters maize export by slapping a 10% export tax on maize grain exports. The president argues that when the then Ministry of Finance Minister Felix Mutati and Agriculture Minister Dora Silia introduced the 10% tax, it was agreed that the tax will be waived off should the national harvest exceed 2.2 million metric tons. Kasempa constituency Member of Parliament Brenda Tambatamba has called for the immediate closure of Jifumpa mine on allegations of poor mine safety management. Ms. Tambatamba's remarks comes in the wake of the death of 3 persons who died at the mine on Friday last week. According to a police report, the 3 were electrocuted after a power cable cut as they were pumping water underground about 270 meters above sea level. The victims have been identified as Dominic Shinda, aged 29, of Kazomba compound in Solwezi, Axon Muchimba, aged 27, of Chimpa village of Kamompo district, and Harry Mashimba, aged 33, of Jifumpa of Kasempa district. But in reaction to the tragedy, Ms. Tambatamba says it is sad that the mine has continued to claim lives. She has since urged government to take swift interventions to protect the lives of workers at the mine before more lives are lost as a result of poor mine safety management.
That mining operation has to be closed, has to be shut for the moment. We know its jobs, we know its salaries for everybody else. But what does it matter if you are going to want your salary now when you are going to be exposed to the hazards that will cause this kind of fatality, that will take away your life? I think this is a moment at which we urge, I as a people's representative, am urging the ministry to shut the mine, shut the operation, stop the train, and begin to audit the mechanisms put in place, the safety management procedures, and indeed the personnel, the qualification of those personnel that are supposed to ensure that safety, international standards are adhered to. We are tired as a people of Kasempa to keep on grieving. We are tired as a people of Zambia. We are tired, simply tired, that it's not enough. In any case, what benefit are the communities accruing from this operation? As it is at the moment, there is still conversation about agreeing the memorandum, the MOU of community benefits that should accrue to the communities. What have they taken out of there other than give the lives of their children?
You're watching Kamle TV, not just another channel. We'll be back with more news after the break.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, downlights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
It's your friends.
I insist.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down.
At Master Signs, our services range from outdoor, indoor signage such as billboards, banners, 3D light boxes, pylons and neon signs. We are located at plot number 397A, Makeni Road, Lusaka, at Oryx Filling Station. For more details, call us on +260 967 100 090 or +260 966 999 981, or better still, email us at infomastersign@gmail.com. Master Sign, we will make it shine.
It's your friends.
I insist.
Your drama.
So you think you can talk about my dad like that? You ain't chat.
And intrigue.
Are you out for good or what? What do you want? Dare you say that to me, eh?
Your heroes. It's your moment with your stories. Made at home for your home. 'Cause great stories start on DSTV.
The much-awaited For Camnet Conference is now scheduled for May 2021 with your hosts, Pastors Victoria and Moses Chiluba.
We have believed that every Zambian was born for greatness and that you and I can contribute to the development of this nation.
The big questions to ask are, can Zambia develop through agriculture? Can we produce indigenous Zambian millionaires? Plan not to miss this national conference on empowering Zambians through agriculture knowledge. Dates, 28th to 29th May 2021. Time, 0730 hours to 1630 hours. Venue, the Healing Word Ministries International in Ibex Hill. Charges, 950 kwacha, lunch inclusive for both days. Payments through via mobile money on 0962 965 883 or 0979 753 010, or you can pay via Stanbic Bank account number 913000 1825 325. Speakers will be Professor Reda.
We need Zambia to be one of the best nations in Africa.
Professor Munkumba.
If you just listen to a lecture, you may remember hardly anything. In 2 weeks' time, it's all gone. If you read, you may remember 10% of what you've read. If you participate in a discussion, 50% retention of the knowledge. So I always tell people, knowledge is the only thing that when you share it, you don't lose it.
Professor Msongole.
Agriculture can actually solve our unemployment for our youth. Through exports, agricultural exports, we can also stabilize our foreign exchange.
Honorable Bob Chinga.
When you do a budget, you plan it so that all the sectors, especially those that will give you low-lying fruits, in other words, you can achieve a lot with it, are the first things you do first.
And biologist Kamweneshe.
If we came together and put our hands together and concentrate on the soil. The people in Kenya, these Swahili people said, Dongo ni mali, means soil, that's money.
Register your participation through Camnet lines. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. You're watching Camnet TV Main News. The People's Alliance for Change has charged that the government has taken over the running of the mining sector, not by choice, but due to its failure to secure credible investors. So far, government has fully taken over the running of Mopani copper mines, while Konkola copper mines is also under its care despite existing legal issues. But PAC President Andiford Banda says the country has lost investor confidence owing to the perceived poor handling of issues surrounding the mining sector. Hence, no one is willing to pump in resources. Speaking during the launch of the party manifesto in Lusaka Monday, Mr. Banda says Zambians need a different administration that will be able to inspire investor confidence. He says their political party manifesto is founded on job creation, access to land, citizens' empowerment, as well as combating corruption. More in this report.
The People's Alliance for Change, PAC, has launched its party manifesto with the view of reviving the local economy and giving Zambians a sense of belonging. The party secretariat was painted blue, characterized by songs from the women's choir and Zambian artists.
Our colleagues took over government. Zambia was classified as a middle-income country. Ukutila, gamwawamu middle-income country, you are able to borrow money and develop the country. All our nest nombalangira mugia fine. Nokuya Kongola, and now in Kongole Nashifikomu, we are even failing to pay back. We are at $12.7 billion. In 2011, we had only $700 million.
PAC President Andiford Banda is among the 19 presidential candidates that have been confirmed so far by the Electoral Commission of Zambia ahead of the August 12 general elections. It says land redistribution remains an issue they seek to address when voted into government.
We should not be insecure time and again to ban the export of maize to other countries. Why can't we look at maize as our gold, as our copper? We have land, we have water. Normally we have good rains. The climate is okay. So land redistribution is not just an important entitlement to the people of Zambia. Land redistribution is key in the mass production and in order for us to achieve the export of various agro products to other countries.
The opposition leader also doubted government's commitment to the mining sector.
The government also needs to have a good relationship with investors. This is one of the failures of the PF government, who have failed to create proper relationships with investors. That's the reason why today the government is running 2 mines, which they are failing to mine properly. They are running KCF, they are also running Mopani. Why? Let them not lie to you to say, no, we are running these mines because we want these mines to be owned by Zambians. They are running the mines because they have failed to find the investors. Yes. So we need an environment that is business friendly.
At the same event, the new party vice president, William Harrington, said the forthcoming elections provide an opportunity for Zambians to redefine how they want to be governed beyond the August 12 general elections.
One cannot please all the people all the time. I personally believe age should not stand in the way of one's desire to bring about an accountable government, one that respects the Constitution and the rule of law. Yes. One that does not tolerate corruption and the abuse of authority of office. One that will ban the unacceptable and violent conduct of some party cadres of a certain party. One that has a clear vision for this country called Zambia. One that, when one prays to God for guidance in certain situations, God speaks. And I have heard what God told me over this matter.
Almost all political parties have launched their party manifestos. What remains is for you, and especially you, to read and understand as you make a decision on August 12. Patrick Soko, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Movement for Multi-Party Democracy MMD spokesperson Kefas Mukuka has urged Zambians to embrace political alliances as they are a common feature in the electoral process. On Sunday, the Zambia We Want and UPND alliance formed an electoral pact ahead of the 12th August general election. Mr. Mukuka says opposition political parties are formed to provide checks and balances as well as forming a government through democratic means. He says political parties who have gone into political alliances must be commended as opposed to being disowned.
Opposition political parties, when they are formed, their main focus is actually to speak for and on behalf of the Zambian people. Number 2, most importantly, is to get state power. And this has to be done in line with laid down procedures, laid down standards. Of late, we have seen a number of political parties who are claiming to be in an alliance with the ruling Patriotic Front. We can't rubbish them. That is normal in politics. Okay? What is sad is to involve ourselves in acts which are wicked. That one we have to condemn.
United Party for National Development, UPND Lusaka Province Chairman Obvious Mwaliteta has dismissed social media speculation purporting that he intends to return to the ruling Patriotic Front. Mr. Mwaliteta says that his life in politics is not about enriching himself, but service to the people, and cannot go back to the PF because it has lost its principles of service to the people. He says despite him having a good relationship with some PF senior members, he is not politically on sale. Mr. Waliteta further says he is on the side of the Zambian people and who suffer with the masses who are buying expensive mealie meal and experiencing economic hardship as a result of the poor economic management by the PF government.
Sorry about my personal benefit. PF has lost its value, its principles from the time we started it with Wamaiko in 2011. We had promised the people of Zambia more money in people's pocket, lower taxes, okay? Good living to the people. But this is all different now. What is there is individuals, cadalism in the system, fighting for supremacy. That's what is there in PF. I'm not part of that. Mine is service to the Zambian people. That's all what I cry for. If I wanted, I'd have gone back and start driving a VX with my colleagues and even probably be one of the people dishing out cash, which I don't have now. But I'm looking at, I want to be few Zambians who are patriotic to this country. That's what I want to be. I'm not going to defect and I will never defect, and it has never crossed my mind, but I'm not for sale. I've never changed my life from a bus driver to what I am today. I still remain the same.
The Zambia police in Lusaka have arrested and detained United Party for National Development UPND Presidential Assistant for Special Duties Mwita Christopher Nawa. Mr. Nawa, aged 45 of Lusaka West, has been charged with the offense of defamation of President Edgar Lungu, contrary to the Section 69 of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the Laws of Zambia. His arrest is in relation to a 2020 video in which an identified individual is seen and heard issuing derogatory remarks against President Lungu. Health Minister Jonas Chanda says government attaches great importance to the provision of quality health services to the people of Zambia as prioritized in the 7th National Development Plan 2017 to 2021. Dr. Chanda was speaking when he officially launched the Health Professions Council of Zambia Service Delivery Charter under the theme Enhanced Community Engagement, Innovation and Excellence to Service Towards Universal Health Coverage. The minister says the development of the Service Delivery Charter by Health Professions Council of Zambia is in line with the National Health Strategic Plan 2017-2021, the 7th National Development Plan 2017 to 2021, and Agenda 2030. He says this Service Delivery Charter, once implemented, will help the country to attain universal health coverage and sustainable development of our country. And HPCZ Registrar Wembia Walia says the Service Delivery Charter will enable clients to get the most of HPCZ services.
Service Delivery Charter therefore taps on these strategic instruments in an attempt to align the health standards with prevailing standards, trends and best practices. It stipulates the standards of service offered by HPCZ. The Charter has also outlined the HPCZ obligations to its clients to enable HPCZ provide services within stipulated time frames while assuring quality. The Service Delivery Charter provides mechanisms for giving feedback and lodging complaints. This is not an end in itself, but rather a means of enhancing effectiveness and efficiency. The major complaint of our patients or our clients in health institutions is lack of efficient and effective services. I've personally received a lot of complaints, lack of professionalism among some of our health providers, long waiting periods, attitudes and all that. So we expect that this charter will provide a means of enhancing effectiveness and efficiency. The HPCZ is committed to providing quality services in a professional, transparent and accountable manner. I therefore urge all stakeholders involved in performance improvement interventions and initiatives in the sector to invest more in the health system strengthening as a vehicle to improve health sector performance and achieve quality health services towards universal health coverage.
This charter binds the Health Professions Council of Zambia in ensuring that they adhere to the times that they have stipulated in the various services that are offered to the public. And the charter also gives an opportunity to the council to make progress, to improve on the quality of services that is being provided by the Council.
The Medical for Quality Healthcare in Zambia, MQHZ, has commended the Ministry of Health for its visible commitment in securing the health of people through countrywide improved health infrastructure. Organization Director General Dr. Quincy Mwabu has cited the construction of various mini-hospitals and health posts in all the 10 provinces. Dr. Mwabu says this development will give people easy access to health services, unlike in the past when citizens would walk long distances to find health facilities. MQHZ has further hailed the Ministry of Health for scoring a major milestone by instituting a specialist hospital in Lusaka and a national health reference laboratory, adding that these health institutions will greatly improve healthcare in Zambia. Meanwhile, Dr. Mwabu has appealed to government to make sure that these new hospitals and clinics are equipped to ensure smooth operation of service delivery.
We have taken special note that government, through the Ministry of Health, has constructed various mini hospitals and health posts in all 10 provinces of Zambia. This development will give people easy access to health services, unlike in the past when citizens would walk long distances to find these health facilities. As MQHZ, we further use the Ministry of Health for scoring a major milestones by instituting a specialist hospital in Lusaka and a national health reference laboratory. These new health institutions will greatly improve healthcare in Zambia. And our appeal as an organization is for government to make sure that these new hospitals and clinics are staffed with all essential drugs and equipment to ensure the smooth running operation of service delivery.
You're watching Cabinet TV News. We'll take a break. We'll be back with international and sports news.
Making GoTV payments is easier than you think. But first, you have to log in. First of all, open the GoTV app, then select your country. Fill in your surname or cell phone number, and then your IUC number. That's it. You can log in. Welcome to your home page. Now click on Pay Now. Select Make a Payment. Next, you will be asked how much you wish to pay. You can do this by clicking on the space next to the kwacha sign and entering the desired amount. All the details of your payment, including account details and amount you are paying, will appear. Make sure everything is in order. Now click on the Ting button under Choose Payment option. When the Ting window pops up, click on OK and then Pay Now. Now, select Preferred Card Payment or Mobile Money option. When the Make a Payment window opens, click on the pink Pay Now button. Now, you simply authorize the payment by clicking on Send Prompt, which will send a prompt to your mobile number. Once you've received the prompt on your phone, simply enter the unique PIN and you are done. GoTV. Love it.
Every day for me means hard work. Going to sell my goods at the local market. To get more customers, I have my secret. Oracle Pure Glycerin. It's soft, smooth, and keeps my skin perfect. And my customers know it. Thank you, Oracle, for my perfect skin.
In this fast-paced era of industrial boom and population growth,
there is need to invest in smart ways of managing electricity and water consumption and reducing utility billing costs associated with the postpaid billing system. At Savenda Electronics, we manufacture right here in Zambia different types of high-quality smart electricity and water meters to customer specifications. Savenda Electronics water and electricity meters help you monitor your usage and gives notifications such as low units, tampering, low battery, and many other features. These easy-to-use meters makes it easier to buy units even in these COVID times and top up just from the comfort of your space. Favorable contract terms are available to both electricity and water utilities. For more details, get in touch with us on the following numbers: 0956 580 349 or 0977 498 318. Savenda Electronics, the real deal.
The much awaited FOCAMNET conference is now scheduled for May 2021 with your hosts, Pastors Victoria and Moses Chiluba.
We have believed that every Zambian was born for greatness and that you and I can contribute to the development of this nation.
The big questions to ask are: can Zambia develop through agriculture? Can we produce indigenous Zambian millionaires? Plan not to miss this national conference on empowering Zambians through agriculture knowledge. Dates: 28th to 29th May 2021. Time: 0730 hours to 1630 hours. Venue: the Healing Word Ministries International in Ibex Hill. Charges: 950 kwacha, lunch inclusive for both days. Payments through via mobile money on 0962 965 883 or 0979 753 010, or you can pay via Stanbic Bank account number 913000 1825 325. Speakers will be Professor Reda.
We need Zambia to be one of the best nations in Africa.
Professor Munkumba.
If you just listen to a lecture, you may remember hardly anything. In 2 weeks' time, it's all gone. If you read, you may remember 10% of what you've read. If you participate in a discussion, 50% retention of the knowledge. So I always tell people, knowledge is the only thing that when you share it, you don't lose it.
Professor Msongole.
Agriculture can actually solve our unemployment for our youth. Through exports, agricultural exports, we can also stabilize our foreign exchange.
Honorable Bob Chinga.
When you do a budget, you plan it so that all the sectors, especially those that could give you low-lying fruits, in other words, you can achieve a lot with it, are the first things you do first.
And biologist Kamweneshe.
If we came together and put our hands together and concentrate on the soil. The people in Kenya, these Swahili people said, Dongo ni mali, means soil, that's money.
Register your participation through CAMNET lines. CAMNET TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. And in international news, before the COVID-19 pandemic, Zimbabwe's economy was already in recession, but hopes are pinned on this good agriculture season after 2 years of devastating droughts. The country's cabinet says this year's harvest is expected to yield 2.8 million tons of maize to help strengthen the troubled economy. Details in this report.
Before the COVID-19 pandemic, Zimbabwe's economy was already in recession. But hopes are pinned on this good agricultural season after 2 years of devastating droughts. The country's cabinet says this year's harvest is expected to yield 2.8 million tons of maize to help strengthen the troubled economy.
We have surpassed the target that we had put in place in terms of a bumper harvest in maize. That tells you exactly that Zimbabwe can be a net exporter of the maize grain and farming products. This year, we're achieving it in our lifetime. Now, what crisis are people talking about?
But former finance minister and main opposition MDC Alliance Vice President Tendai Biti says Zimbabwe's economy is in the doldrums and it's the people who are suffering.
The economy is not doing well. It's a disaster. You can see the poverty levels, you can see the unemployment levels, you can see the distortions caused by the mismanagement of the foreign currency exchange rate regime in this country. You can see the suffering caused by hyperinflation.
One economist says foreign investment is key to economic stability and stresses that Zimbabwe should scrap strict conditions on foreign investors.
Regulation after regulation is preventing the investors from taking this country seriously. They'd rather go to many other countries first and not come here. So all of these are difficult issues which are making it an unattractive country to invest in.
The once prosperous Southern African nation is grappling with a runaway inflation, shortage of medicine in hospitals, and also low investment. Pindai Dube, Harare, Zimbabwe.
The Chadian army said on Sunday that the operation against rebels who have been on the offensive for a month is over and that the situation has returned to normal. The fighting began on the 11th of April, the day of the presidential election in which Idris Deby Itno was re-elected for the 6th consecutive term. It was during fighting between the army and the FACT group that Marshal Deby was killed. Several hundred vehicles and armored vehicles of the Chadian army returned to the Chadian capital N'Djamena on Sunday to celebrate the end of the operation in the west of the country, an AFP journalist noted. The Chadian army presented 156 FACT prisoners to the press, as well as many seized vehicles. We have more in this report.
The Chadian army said on Sunday that the rebels who have been on the offensive for a month in the administrative region of North Kanem in Chad have been captured with their weapons and equipment. The unrest broke out on April 11th, the day President Idris Deby Itno was re-elected, and the clashes culminated in the loss of his life. The war came and we were able to control the situation. We brought in the prisoners and equipment. We cleaned up the place and there is nothing left now. The situation is back to normal. I would like to say to the population, don't worry, there is nothing left. Since the beginning of the offensive, the Chadian army has claimed to have killed several hundred FACT rebels, with 156 prisoners presented to the press, as well as many seized vehicles. To my brothers who are suffering in the rebellion, for those who have died, may their souls rest in peace, and for those who are captured alive, I ask the authorities to respect their rights as prisoners of war. Those who are still in rebellion outside the country should join the legal system so that they can contribute to building a country of law and democracy. Hundreds of transport and armored vehicles of the Chadian army returned to the country's capital in N'Djamena on Sunday to celebrate the end of operations in the west of the country.
It's now time for sports news. In sports news, Zamfort reports that the Copper Queens have been handed a tricky first-round draw for the Morocco 2022 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Following the draw that took place at the headquarters of the Confederations of African Football, CAF, in Cairo, Egypt, Zambia will face neighbors Malawi. The last time the two teams met was last year at the COSAFA Women's Championship, where the Scorchers eliminated the Copper Queens in the semi-finals. Defending champions Nigeria faced a tricky encounter against Ghana, while runners-up in South Africa faced Mozambique. The first legs for the AFCON qualifiers will be between 7th and the 15th of June, and the second leg will take place between 7th and 9th October. Meanwhile, the Zambia Under-17 women national team will face Namibia in the second round of the African qualifiers for the 2022 India FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. The Under-20, on the other hand, like their elder sisters, will face Malawi in the African qualifiers for the 2022 Costa Rica FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. The Under-20 qualifiers will take place in September to October, while the Under-17 qualifiers will take place in 2022. That sporting item brings us to the end of our news, but before we go, we'll take a look at the headlines once again. Youthful Zambians account for the most registered voters ahead of the 2021 elections. Kazungula Bridge commissioned, and Kambwili mocks the UPND and Partners Alliance, saying those in it are frustrated. In international news, Zimbabwean government says the economy is slowly recovering. And in sports, Copper Queens face Malawi in AFCON qualifiers. The Cabinet World Verse of the day is coming from the book of Romans 15, verse 13, and it reads, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope." My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Thanks for watching Camnet TV Main News. Bye-bye. When was that? Was that Friday? Friday. Hey, Dave. Yeah, I'm going to live. Shit. Oh, sorry.